Hello everyone, welcome to Narayana online classes. We are going to be discussing some basic questions on ellipse, especially questions of the form where ellipses and quadrilaterals interact. Okay? Alright, let's start. First question, minimum area of the triangle by any tangent to the ellipse x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1 with the coordinate axis is what? Okay? So what do we have here? We have a standard ellipse. We have a standard ellipse and there is a tangent to the standard ellipse, right? So first write the equation x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1, right? Alright. So to this ellipse we are drawing a tangent and we are asking for the minimum area of the triangle. Let us call this point as P, a general point P of theta. Where it meets the x axis, let us call it A. Where it meets y axis, let us call it B. Okay. And so now if this is the point, if this is the origin, then minimum area of the triangle formed by this, right? So we want area of triangle OAB. Alright. Okay. For that area I need OA and OB, which are the x and y intercepts of the tangent. So let us just go with the equation of tangent and then look at the x and y intercepts. So equation of tangent at P of theta. What is this equation? It would be x cos theta by A plus y sin theta by B equal to 1, right? So its intercepts are the x and y intercepts are OA, which is the x intercept, which is, since it is already in the intercept form, bring cos theta down, so A by cos theta. Similarly, y intercept would be OB, which would be B by sin theta. Correct? Which means area of triangle OAB, which would be, if you look at the, it is a right angle triangle, right? So half of OA into OB, which is half of OA into OB, which is half of, how much was OA? A by cos theta, right? So A by cos theta into B by sin theta. Now I can write this as, mind you, we should have a mod here, right? But then let us take theta to be in first quadrant, because we know even if theta is in the first quadrant we will get the correct value of that area. Okay, so AB upon, this should be 2 sin theta cos theta. What is 2 sin theta cos theta? Sin 2 theta, correct? Sin 2 theta. If required we will put it in mod, right? Okay, so we know that mod of sin 2 theta, what is its maximum value? Yes? Mod of sin 2 theta, its maximum value is 1, we know, right? So if I substitute, I should get the minimum value here, right? Which means minimum area of triangle OAB would be, substitute that here, AB upon 1, which is AB itself. Got it? AB. That is the minimum area of triangle found by any tangent to this ellipse. Got it? Okay, let us then proceed. Let P be a variable point on the ellipse x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1 with foci f1 and f2. A is the area of a triangle P F1 F2. then maximum value of A is what? Okay. So we have the standard ellipse x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1, and we have the two foci f1 and f2. P is any point on this triangle, right? Let us call it P of theta. Then A is the area of triangle PF1 F2, right? So PF1 F2, this is that triangle, all right? Now we need area of triangle PF1 F2. A would be area of triangle PF1 F2. Now in this triangle, I know already the length of the base. How much is that? 2AE. We already know that, right? So F1 F2 is 2AE, which means I need height, right? So let us drop that perpendicular from P to the major axis. Let us call it H, which is the height, right? So clearly I know H is equal to how much? It will be the y coordinate of P, correct? What is the y coordinate of P? B sine theta, correct? Y coordinate of P would be B sine theta. So now I just need to write this formula, which is A is equal to area of triangle PF1 F2, which is half of F1 F2 into H, correct? Where H equal to distance of P from x axis. But what are the coordinates of P? Coordinates of P would be A cos theta comma B sin theta, correct? But P is A cos theta comma B sin theta, which means H is basically B sin theta itself, correct? The y coordinate of P. Therefore, we will say area of triangle PF1 F2 is how much? Half of F1 F2. F1 F2 is how much? 2AE into what is the height? B sin theta, correct? Half gets cancelled, we get AE B sin theta, right? Once again we should put a mod there. Only sin theta is something that could go negative. Alright, so now we are asking for the maximum value of A, right? Which means maximum value of A would be, the 2 and 2 will get cancelled, so mod of AEB only, correct? Because mod sin theta is less than or equal to 1. Once again we are using this. So now AEB, that is anyway positive, I can ignore the mod, right? Which means A max, the maximum value of area would be AB into E, but we know the formula for E is root 1 minus B square by A square. Cross multiply this A, one A will get cancelled, B root A square minus B square, correct? That is the expression we are looking for, the maximum area. Got it? Yes? Okay, then let us proceed. Alright, so let A and B be two drawing points such that AB is 10, and let a string be tied whose ends are at A and B and length is 16. The point of the pencil moves on the paper and the fixed ends are always tied. We get a curve on the paper, its area is what? Okay, so first of all we don't know which curve this is, right? All we know is that there are two fixed points A and B, right, such that the distance AB is 10, and there is a string, right, and there is a string such that the length of the string is 16. Then the point of the pencil moves on the paper, right? Which means what happens when I make the string tight? Can you see that we will get a triangle, right? We will get a triangle. So let us take this moving point as P, right, where P is movable, and can you see P is moving such that PA plus PB will always be length of string, which is 16, right? So let us make a note of that. P on the string moves such that PA plus PB is constant. How much is that constant? 16, correct? And A and B are fixed, which means now can you tell me what will be the path of P? It has to be an ellipse, right? Because P is moving such that sum of its distances from two fixed points is constant, right? Which means P moves on an ellipse. Moves on an ellipse with A and B as foci. Alright. So we know A and B are foci, P is moving on an ellipse. Let us finish that ellipse. Right? Okay. So now we have been asked what is the area of that ellipse. Okay? Now we know that area of the ellipse x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1. For this area, for this ellipse, the area is pi AB, right? So I need the value of A and B. Clearly over here, PA plus PB, right? PA plus PB is given to be 16. It must be 2A, correct? For such an ellipse, the sum of the distances is always equal to major axis. So 2A, which means A is 8, right? So the value of A is 8. Alright, what else? Now to get B, I need the value of E. To get E, we know AB, which is the distance between the foci, is 2AE, correct? Equal to 10, which is given, right? Which means AE is equal to 5, but the value of A itself is 8, right? Which means E is 5 by 8, because we know A is 8. I just substituted it. Once I know eccentricity, tell me what is the value of B? B is equal to A root 1 minus E square. How much is that? That is 8 root 1 minus E square, which is 25 by 64, correct? 25 by 64. Which if you simplify, you see 64 minus 25 would be root 39 divided by 8 and multiplied by 8. So 8 will get cancelled. So now I know B is root 39. All we need is the area of the ellipse, right? Which means area is, tell me, pi AB. So pi into A is 8, B is root 39. That's it. So 8 pi root 39, which is your option D. Got it? That's all. Alright. Let us proceed then. Okay. A tangent having slope minus 4 by 3 to the ellipse x square by 18 plus y square by 32 equal to 1 meets the major and minor axis at A and B. If O is the center of the ellipse, then area of triangle OAB is what? Alright. So once again, we have a standard ellipse x square by 18 plus y square by 32 equal to 1. We have been given a tangent to this ellipse. We have been given a tangent to this ellipse and its slope is known, right? Its slope is known and it's negative, observe, right? So it is something like this. Okay? So let us say it meets at P, and for this tangent M is minus 4 by 3. Correct? Okay? It meets the major and minor axis at A and B. So let us call this point as A, and on the minor axis it meets at B, right? We have been asked area of triangle OAB, right? So area of triangle OAB is what needs to be found out. Correct? Once again, we know this area is going to be half of OA into OB. We just need to find the value of OA and OB, right? For that, if I have the equation of tangent, I should be able to get that. Correct? Okay. So, therefore, equation of tangent with slope minus 4 by 3. What will be the equation? In fact, for any slope, let us write the equation for any slope, right? What is that? Y is equal to mx plus minus root a square m square plus b square. Correct? Now we will take only plus and not minus, because we know even if it was the other tangent, the area is going to be the same. So out of pure symmetry, let us take to plus only. Okay. So m equal to minus 4 by 3 implies y equal to minus 4 by 3x plus root of a square m square plus b square, right? So a square is 18, m square is 16 by 9, m square is 16 by 9, and b square is 32. Correct? So obviously 18 and 9 get cancelled, 2 remaining. So 32 plus 32, 64, right? Which means minus 4 by 3x plus root 64, therefore 8. Yeah? Only 8 we need there. Okay. So let us rearrange the terms and write the equation properly. We will say that is 3y equal to minus 4x, or rather 3y plus 4x equal to 24. Correct? So we have let us write x first. So x by, bring 24 down, take 4 down. So x by 6 plus y by 8 equal to 1. See, that is the equation of tangent, right? Is the tangent, which means, see, anyway we wanted OA and OB, right? So anyway we want the x and y intercept, which again if you observe, this is perfectly in intercept form, which means OA is 6 and OB is 8. Correct? Which means area of triangle OAB, which is half of OA into OB, because it is right angled, therefore half of 6 into 8, 24. 24. That is your answer. Got it? Yes? Shall we proceed then? Okay, let us do that. Area of the greatest rectangle that can be inscribed in the ellipse is, okay. So we have a standard ellipse, x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1, and then the greatest rectangle that can be inscribed in this ellipse. So let us say this is that rectangle. Can you see that? First of all, rectangle, it has to be, its sides have to be parallel to the x and y axis, right? If I take this point P of theta, can you see all the other points will be plus or minus of its coordinates, right? So let P A cos theta, comma B sin theta be one vertex, right, of what? Of the rectangle, which means let us label the other points PQRS of the rectangle PQRS. Which means PS, can you tell me how much would PS be? Because this is A cos theta, its y coordinate, sorry, its x coordinate would be minus A cos theta. So PS would be 2A cos theta. Similarly, PQ would be, its y coordinate is B sin theta, the y coordinate of Q is minus B sin theta. So PQ would be 2B sin theta. That's it. Now PS into PQ should give me the area of rectangle, right? Which means area of rectangle PQRS is PS into PQ, right? Which is 2A cos theta into 2B sin theta. You see, we have 2A, 2B and sin theta into cos theta can be written as sin 2 theta by 2. Correct? Cancel 2, 2. You are left with 2AB sin theta. Can you see now? What is the maximum area? Maximum area would simply be 2AB into 1, right? Because sin theta its maximum is 1. You are already well versed with it. That's it. 2AB is your answer. Got it? Yeah, easy, right? Okay, let us proceed then. If F1 and F2 are the feet of perpendiculars from foci S1 S2 of the ellipse x square by 25 plus y square by 16 equal to 1 on the tangent at any point P on the ellipse, then S1 F1 plus S2 F2 satisfies which of these conditions? Equal to 5, equal to 16, greater than or equal to 8, less than 8, etc. Okay. So what do we have here? We have this ellipse x square by 25 plus y square by 16 equal to 1. And there is a point P and there are foci S1 and S2. At some point P, we are drawing a tangent we are drawing this tangent and then perpendiculars are drawn from S1 and S2 to this tangent, okay? And then those 2 points, the feet of the perpendiculars are labeled F1 and F2, okay? That is what is happening. And then S1 F1 plus S2 F2 equal to or greater than or less than. That is what we need to find out based on these options, okay? Alright, so we know that because this is a tangent at P, the perpendiculars from foci to any tangent always satisfy a very important property, right? We know already that S1 F1 into S2 F2 is equal to B square. Do you remember this property? It is always true for any ellipse, right? So S1 F1 into S2 F2 is always B square. What is the value of B square? 16, right? Okay, but they are asking us about S1 F1 plus S2 F2. So when the product is known, how do you deal with the sum? AMGM inequality, right? So for S1 F1 and S2 F2, we are going to apply AM greater than or equal to GM, right? Which means S1 F1 plus S2 F2 divided by 2 is greater than or equal to root of their product. Greater than or equal to their product S1 F1 S2 F2, correct? All right, which means S1 F1 plus S2 F2 is greater than or equal to 2 root, you see that is a product term, but we have already found out the product is 16, correct? So 2 root 16, substitute, this is 4, 4 into 2, 8, greater than or equal to 8, which means S1 F1 plus S2 F2 is greater than or equal to 8. That is your answer. Got it? Yeah? See, it cannot be equal to any single value because this sum is going to vary, okay? But its minimum is going to be 8. When the product is fixed, sum can change, right? So its minimum value we know is 8, okay? Alright then, let us proceed. Coordinates of the vertices B and C of a triangle ABC are 2, 0 and 8, 0 respectively. The vertex A is varying in such a way that 4 tan B by 2 tan C by 2 equal to 1 and locus of A is x minus 5 the whole square by 25 plus y square by k square equal to 1. Then k is equal to what? Okay, very interesting question. This is a clear locus question where coordinates of A and B are given and A moves in such a way that it follows a trigonometric rule, okay? And then locus of A, in fact by looking at locus of A, we know that it is going to be an ellipse, right? We need to find the equation of that ellipse, okay? So let us first picture it, right? So coordinates of point A, right? A is 2, 0 and B is 8, 0, right? Okay, sorry, the A is moving, these are B and C. These are B and C, so point B, point C, let us say these are the coordinate axes. B is obviously 2, 0, C is 8, 0 and A is moving as a variable point, okay? Alright, now the condition for A is that 4 tan B by 2 tan C by 2 equal to 1, right? Where have you seen that expression? Where have you seen that expression? We know that in any triangle ABC, we know tan B by 2 by from solutions of triangles chapter. Tan B by 2 can be written as root of S minus A into S minus C upon S into S minus B. And what about tan C by 2? Similarly, if this is C here, so in the denominator you will have S into S minus C. So numerator would be S minus B into S minus A. Alright, which means just multiply because it is given in the question tan B by 2 into tan c by 2 is how much? Multiply these two, what will happen? S minus a, it is there on both sides, okay? So we will have an S minus a. Alright, then S minus c is here in the numerator, denominator cancels. S minus b, denominator, numerator cancels. S is there only in the denominator, so it will remain. Alright, but it is given to be how much? 1 by 4, right? But tan b by 2 tan c by 2 is given to be 1 by 4, right? Which means not only this, the value of A is the side opposite angle A, vertex A. So A is the length BC, which is 6 units, correct? Which means I can substitute that. Substitute that, what do we get? We will have we will have 1 by 4 is equal to S minus A upon S, right? So S minus 6 upon S. Cross multiply, S is equal to 4S minus 24. Bring this here, so 24 equal to 3S or S is equal to 8. Right? We have S now, which means 2S equal to 16, which is actually A plus B plus C, right? Because S is the semi-perimeter. So 2S is the complete perimeter. But the value of A itself we have seen earlier, A itself is 6. Substitute 6 here. So bring 6 here, 16 minus 6 would be B plus C. B plus C is 16 minus 6, which is 10. Correct? Now, we have used the given knowledge, whatever was given, we have done it to our extent, right? Where are we now? B plus C, right? But A is variable while B or C are fixed, right? So, A moves such that B plus C is constant and B and C are fixed. Point B and C are fixed, which means B, C are fixed. From this we conclude that B and C are foci of an ellipse, right? Which means B and C are foci. Foci of what? Of locus of A. That's it. We have everything we need. So from this we will conclude the length BC is actually 2AE, right? We are obviously taking a standard ellipse equal to 1. Actually, it is not a standard ellipse, it is a shifted ellipse, right? So, because the center is not origin, what is the center? What is center of this ellipse? What is center of B and C? 2, 0, 8, 0. Center is 5, 0. So, x minus 5 the whole square upon a square plus y square by b square equal to 1. BC is 2AE, correct? Which means 2AE is equal to 6. Let this be equation 1, and B plus C is 2A, correct? Because sum of the distances, you see, sum of the distances is always constant and it is equal to the major axis, correct? So therefore, B plus C is 2A, and we found out B plus C is how much? 10, right? So this is 10, which means we will say the value of A is 5 and E is 6 by 10, which is 3 by 5, correct? Now we need, if you look at it, we actually need the equation, the value of B, right? B square, which means B square is A square, which is 25, into 1 minus E square, which is 9 by 25, which is 16, right? Which means locus of A is x square by a square, so x square by 25, sorry, not x square, x minus 5. This is a shifted ellipse, center is 5 comma 0, therefore x minus 5 the whole square plus y square by how much? 16 equal to 1, which means the value of k square is 16, therefore k is 4. Got it? K is 4. Right? So this question is interesting particularly because of this formula, tan b by 2 tan c by 2, which doesn't appear a lot, and because it connects you to SOT, solutions of triangles. Got it? Okay, then let us proceed. If 4x square plus y square equal to 1, then maximum value of 12x square minus 3y square plus 16xy. Okay? So given 4x square plus y square equal to 1, right? We can write it as x square by 1 by 4 plus y square by 1 equal to 1, which means xy, point x comma y lies on this ellipse, correct? Now you see, the question doesn't have anything to do with an ellipse, but because it lies on an ellipse, which means it lies on a standard ellipse, every point can be written in the form of a parameter, right? So we will say using parametric form, we will say x comma y is actually, look at this, using parametric form, 1 by 2 cos theta comma sin theta, correct? X comma y can be taken as this. Now both x and y depend on theta. Why are we doing this? Because now we have converted everything into a sinc parameter, right, which is theta. This x comma y I can substitute here, then this entire thing becomes function of a single variable theta. We know how to deal with single variables, right? We have it in our JEE syllabus, at least we don't know how to deal with minimize or maximize functions of two variables, but we know how to deal with one variable, which is exactly what we are doing, correct? So implies, let us write this as f of x comma y as 12x square minus 3y square plus 16xy. This then becomes 12x square, x square is cos square theta by 4 minus 3y square, so sin square theta, and then 12x square minus 3y square plus 16xy, so cos theta sin theta by 2, correct? Now it's just a matter of simplification, right? We will call this function some capital F of theta, right? Which means this function some capital F of theta. Why are we going from small f to capital F? Because it is a different function. That's all. Okay, it's just a technical issue that we should be careful about. It doesn't change our answer in any way. Okay, so this will become 3 cos square theta minus 3 sin square theta plus 8 sin theta cos theta, so 4 sin 2 theta, correct? Therefore, capital F of theta then is how much? Look at this, 3 cos square theta minus 3 sin square theta, which is 3 sin square theta. That is, can you see that it is 3 cos 2 theta? So we have 3 cos 2 theta and 4 sin 2 theta, right? Just making sure this is not sin square, it is sin 2 theta. Alright, so f of theta is 3 cos 2 theta plus 4 sin 2 theta, and we are being asked the maximum value, right? So do you remember A cos theta plus B sin theta form, right? This is something that you studied in junior classes, that A cos x plus B sin x, it lies between minus root A square plus B square and plus root A square plus B square, correct? Which means its maximum value, right? Which means for at least 3 cos 2 theta plus 4 sin 2 theta, its maximum value would be root of 3 square plus 4 square, which is obviously 5, right? So its maximum value is 5 is what is being asked. Got it? Again, a very interesting question where you are going entirely from polynomials and basically algebra directly to geometry and then solving an algebraic question only, because we are only looking for the maximum of this, right? Got it? Okay, then let us proceed. Consider an ellipse whose center is at the origin and its major axis is along the x-axis. If its eccentricity is 3 by 5 and distance between its foci is 6, then the area in square units of the quadrilateral inscribed in the ellipse with the vertices as the vertices of the ellipse. Okay, so what we have here is a standard ellipse for which the eccentricity is given and distance between foci is given. Using those two, we should be able to get the equation of the ellipse. Once we have that, we need to find the quadrilateral which uses its vertices as the vertices of the ellipse only. Okay, so what we have here is an ellipse whose eccentricity and distance between foci are known. Let us call this f1 and f2. It is given that f1, f2 is how much? 6 and E is equal to 3 by 5, correct? Now there is this quadrilateral that uses its vertices as the vertices of the ellipse, right? Let us call that quadrilateral AB, A dash, B dash, right? Clearly it's a rhombus. We need to find the area of that rhombus. Okay, so obviously we need to first get the equation of ellipse, get all its major axis, minor axis, etc. From that, if I know coordinates of AB, everything else is obvious, right? So area of A, B, A dash, B dash, this is being asked, all right? Okay, so we know that. I am directly going to use a diagram, I hope you understand. We know that F1, F2 is 2AE, correct? Which means 2A is how much? 6 equal to 2AE, let us call this equation 1, and E is given to be 3 by 5, which means 6 equal to 2A into 3 by 5. Can you see 6 here, 6 there, which means A is equal to 5. Now if A is known and E is known, which means B is equal to A root 1 minus E square, which is 5 root 1 minus 9 by 25. Can you see how much that would be? Cross multiply 25, 16 by 25, 5 will get cancelled, root 16 is 4, right? Which means B is root 16, which is 4, right? So coordinates of point A, which is A comma 0, is 5 comma 0. Coordinates of point B, which is 0 comma B, is 0 comma 4, right? And area of AB, A dash, B dash, we know it's a rhombus, so area of a rhombus is half D1, D2, where D1, D2 are its diagonals, right? So how much is D1 A dash into B dash, which is half of A dash is how much? 10, B dash is 8, correct? Half of 80, which is 40. That's all. I mean, you could have also said that it is 4 triangles, take area of each triangle, multiply by 4, you will get the same answer. Got it? Okay, then let us proceed. If the midpoint of the chord of the ellipse x square by 16 plus y square by 25 equal to 1 is 0, 3 and the length of the chord is 4k by 5, then what is the value of k? Alright, so once again we have a standard ellipse, x square by 16 plus y square by 25 equal to 1, and then for this ellipse the midpoint of a chord is given. Okay, midpoint of a chord is 0, 3. See if, okay, first of all 16 and 25, which means A is less than B, so it should be the other way around. This ellipse, its major axis should be along y axis, which means something like this. Okay, clearly this value is 5 and we have a point 0, 3, right? Let us call this point P 0, 3. Alright, okay, and then at P there is a chord with midpoint is 0, 3. So clearly this chord I cannot draw it in with any inclination, because if the chord is angled then it will not be midpoint, right? Which means this chord has to be completely horizontal parallel to x axis. Let us call this AB, right? So chord AB parallel to x axis and P is midpoint of AB. This much we have established from the diagram itself. Then we need to find length of this chord. Clearly, can you see y coordinates of A and B are same, right? What is that y coordinate? 3 only. X coordinate will vary, but y coordinate is 3, right? Because from P, right? So from the diagram we can say that y coordinate of A would be y coordinate of P would be y coordinate of B, all of this is equal to 3, right? So putting y equal to 3 in equation of ellipse, y equal to 3 here, so what do we get? X square by 16 plus 9 by 25 equal to 1. Take it there, we know it will be 25 minus 9, so 16, x square by 16 would be 16 by 25, right? Which means x would be how much? Plus or minus 16 by 5. So for A and B, now we know the x coordinates. We know x coordinates, we need to find length of chord K, which means length of AB would be how much? 2 times the x coordinate, right? Which is 16 by 5, which is 32 by 5, and it is already given to be 4k by 5, which means k is equal to 8. Correct? That's all you have to do is draw everything correctly. If you do that, you will get everything properly, right? Okay. So if a variable tangent to the circle x square plus y square equal to 1 intersects the ellipse x square plus 2y square equal to 4 at points P and Q, then the locus of the intersection of tangents to the ellipse at P and Q is a conic whose eccentricity, latus rectum, foci. So we now need to find that locus, and for that locus we need to find all these other things. Okay. So first we have a circle, standard at origin and unit radius, right? And you see that we have this other ellipse. Let us first write the ellipse. X square by 4 plus y square by 2 equal to 1, and C x square plus y square equal to 1. Can you tell me first of all whether the circle will intersect with the ellipse or not? Right? Because now I need to know which one, when I am drawing, which one should be bigger. You have to realize that this ellipse is major axis is 2, minor axis is, semi-major axis. A, value of A here is 2, value of B is root 2. Both of them are bigger than 1 here, which means circle is completely inside the ellipse. Alright. Okay, so I guess it is better to draw it here. we have that ellipse, and we have that circle. Alright, then from a variable tangent to this circle intersects the ellipse in 2 points, right? So draw any tangent to this circle that intersects the ellipse in 2 points, and then at those 2 points we need to draw tangents to the ellipse, right? Point of intersection of tangents. So draw these tangents. Let us call this point some P, none of the, okay, at points P and Q. So these are the points P and Q. Let us call this point R, the point on the circle from where the tangent meets the circle, and then point of intersection of tangents at P and Q to be S, right? I am going to assume that we already know all these points, right? Alright, okay, so we need to find locus of S. Observe this, it is important for us to know that we need to find locus of S. So let us write S H comma K. Right? Let S H comma K be point of intersection of tangents at P and Q. Alright. So now if R is some point on the circle, then tangent at R is by what? Tangent at R parameter theta would be given by, because it is a circle, a standard circle. So we know its equation can be written as x cos theta plus y sin theta equal to 1. Let us call this equation 1, right? In fact, let us call it equation 3, where ellipse and circle are 1 and 2. Okay? Ellipse and circle are 1 and 2. That tangent equation is equation 3. And then we also know, so also I can call PQ. Observe this, PQ is, we have written it as a tangent at point R. PQ is also chord of contact of point S. Can you see that? It is very important for you to realize that PQ is the chord of contact for the external point S, which means PQ is chord of contact, right, from S H comma K to the ellipse, right, which means I can write equation of PQ in terms of H and K, right, which means equation of PQ would be written as, or rather can be written as S1 equal to 0, where x1 y1, what is x1 y1? H comma K, correct. This is a very important realization, right? So in that case, what would be the equation of PQ? It would be xx1, right? So hx by a square plus, do we know the value of a square? Yes, we know the value of a square as 4, right? So hx by 4, hx by 4 plus ky by 2 equal to 1. Let us call this equation 4. Now observe the very important observation, equation 3 and 4 are both equations of the same line PQ, right? They are both the same line, which means now I can compare the coefficients, right? So we will write now, since 3 and 4 both represent PQ, we can say just divide the coefficients, right? So h by 4 upon cos theta, h by 4 upon cos theta equal to k by 2 upon sin theta equal to 1 by 1. See, whenever we get this, we know we just have to get sin theta and cos theta, square and add, right? So I will say cos theta, take this there, is h by 4. Sin theta would be k by 2. Squaring and adding gives h square by 4 square upon k square by 2 square, right? So h by 4 the whole square plus k by 2 the whole square equal to 1. Now this we know is an ellipse. For that ellipse we need to look at these, right? So that is let us write it as h by 4 the whole square plus k by 2 the whole square equal to 1. That is x square by 16 plus y square by 4 equal to 1 is the locus. Now for this locus, eccentricity, this is an ellipse, so E is equal to root of 1 minus b square by a square, 4 by 16, that would be root of, take this there, 12 by 16, this is 1 by 4, right? So 1 minus 1 by 4 is 3 by 4, which is root 3 by 2. Can you see that? This would be root 3 by 2. Eccentricity is root 3 by 2, which is option A itself, which means this is anyway wrong. If you actually calculate the length of lateral rectum and the foci anyway root 5 we know nowhere root 5 appears, at best root 3 might appear. So we know option D is also wrong. Calculate the lateral rectum 2b square by a, right? So 2 into b square, how much is b square? 4 by a, again 4, 3 is not going to come, right? 2 into 4 by 4 is 2 only. So 3 is wrong, which is why only option A is correct. Got it? Done. So that is, we got the eccentricity to be root 3 by 2. Okay? Alright, so we have reached the end of this session. Thank you.